Oh my goodness. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's another glorious Monday morning. It is time for Momentum Monday, and I am flat out excited this morning. I want to bring to the line and introduce to some of you a phenomenal woman, someone who is known as a professional coach, a role model, mentor, leader, national speaker, vice president of human resources in corporate America, and many, many, many others. But she says her most important titles are wife and mom. She has helped me and hundreds of women across the country become better and stronger. She is the host and the visionary of this call. Please welcome to the line a bad sister who just turned 21 yesterday. Good morning, Jill Jordan Green. How you doing?
I am amazing, Lynette. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. And folks, I want to say good morning, and good morning. Welcome to Momentum Monday. Lynette, how are you this morning?
I'm pumped up, on fire, and ready to take off. Let's go.
Very good. Folks, my name is Jill Green, and I'm the host of the call that's designed to wake you up, shake you up, and take you up to new levels in your life, your career, your business, and your dreams. We have some brand new callers on the line this morning, some brand new folks on our Facebook Live, and they're saying, what is this call all about? We meet here every single Monday morning to make sure that your Mondays will never be the same. And we talk about topics, and we give tips and techniques on how to create momentum in your life, your business, your projects, to get to your dreams in 2016. And today, we are talking about the specific topic, momentum. We're in the back half of the year. What should we be doing? We should be finishing strong. How will you do that? With the power of momentum. And I want to say good morning to all of my Facebook Live folks. We got Teresa Cole, who just joined us, Rashawn Folks, my mom, Denise Jordan, Rashonda Gilbert, and so many names, Roger Reed. So many folks are dialing in. Thank you, and good morning. But I have some amazing folks I have to introduce to you before we jump in and get started. And I call these folks my co-hosts because they help me. They help me take the plane, put it in the air, and they help me land this bad boy. And first up, we have all the way from the East Coast. She is the visionary of Women of More campaign, the author of the brand new magazine, Women of More magazine. She hails from Newark, Delaware. She is Michelle Washington. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning, Jill Jordan Green. Good morning, team. Good morning. Woo! I'm intentional. I wake up like this. I'm ready to get it done no matter what comes my way. I'm going to do it now. Woo!
Absolutely, yes. Michelle gets them fired up every single Monday morning. You're getting so many hearts right now, Michelle, for all that excitement that you bring to us. Good morning to you guys out there. And next up we have from my hometown, from Fort Wayne, Indiana. She's known as Dr. Dawn. She's a partner in a major law firm, a writer, a keynote speaker, author of the hottest Boss Presence book at Amazon right now. She is the rainmaker, the rain leader. She will teach you how to rain. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Dr. Dawn Roseman. Good morning, Dawn.
Hey, good morning, Jill. Happy birthday to you, team. I love you. Momentum Monday callers, you know how this goes. Let's rain. I rain, you rain. Let's get it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And thank you for that, Dr. Dawn. 21 looks good on me.
That's right.
Again. And also from my hometown, all the way from Fort Wayne, Indiana, we love this woman right here. She's the founder of Girls Rock, the founder of Girls Rock Youth Camp. She's an international youth ambassador and international speaker, a future author, Danita Washington. Good morning.
Well, good morning. Good morning, kings and queens and Momentum Monday champions. Remember today, I say this all the time, lead with love. We have so many people suffering with sadness and struggle that today we want to give them some momentum. So everywhere you go today, lead with love. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And last but not least, I want to give it up to my girl from Detroit, Michigan. She welcomes us every single Monday morning to get your Monday kicked off just right. She is the owner of Virtually Yours. She is the founder of Saving Our Youth. She's the author of the #1 best-selling book, Mission Unstoppable. She wrote with George Fraser and Les Brown from D-Town. Lynette Rogers, good morning.
Good morning, Jill, and good morning to all the winners on the line. We're not wasting time another day. We're killing procrastination in 2016 because the future is now. Let's take this plane off, Jill.
Let's go, let's go, let's take flight. Folks, again, I want to say good morning to you, and our Facebook Live listeners are just piling in this morning. Good morning, Anitra. Good morning, Cynthia. Good morning, Dawn. Good morning, Thomas and Nina. Oh, my goodness, Teresa. Thank you guys, Rashonda, for joining us this morning. Listen, we are talking about momentum. Momentum is a critical ingredient to success, ladies and gentlemen. It is critical to success, and it's the difference between winning and losing. It can be the difference between reaching your goals and just dreaming about them. With momentum, difficult tasks seem easy. Without momentum, one can find it difficult to get motivated. A train with momentum traveling at 60 miles per hour can crash through a 5-foot-thick steel reinforced concrete wall without stopping. But that same train, starting from a stationary position, will stall. The formula for momentum basically is mass plus velocity equals momentum. What's mass? It's an amount of something. What's velocity? It's the rate of speed. So you have to have the amount of action plus speed, which will give you momentum. I read an article by someone by the name of Michelle LaBrosse who talked about momentum. And she explained that the more time you give yourself, Dawn, the slower the train will move. She said that accelerating your action and compressing your timelines create a sense of urgency and will help you create momentum that you need. Yeah. Now, we're going to talk – Dawn, is that not powerful or what? Talk to me about that for a second.
Well, man, that's the reason Boss Presence exists. It's because I was left with no time to get it done, literally. And it was like, hey, this is coming up. You said you wanted to do it by this time, and you committed to it. I gave my word to some other people, so now I was accountable right beyond myself. And that timeline, man, it was a great motivator. It pushed me to honor my own word, you know. And so, man, that's powerful because that's exactly what happens. If you care about your word, that's exactly what's gonna happen. You're gonna be pushed.
That's amazing. And, Dawn, why is momentum so critical to reaching those goals at the back end of the year?
Because, you know, it's that thing. I mean, if people can remember, for those of us who weren't on the call, when we started this for 2016, you talked about, hey, people, we have these New Year's resolutions, and they start, but then about after 30 months, 90 days or something like that, they're all gone, right? People forget what they're doing. So this back half of the year, you need that push. You need it. You're tired probably, even if you've done great things. You're tired. You're looking forward toward the holidays. You walk into the stores, and they're telling you Christmas is here. You know, everything is telling you it's time to shut it down, but we got work to do. And so you need this. You need momentum to propel you across the finish line. I think about that lady that beat Allison Felix, right, in the Olympics. I think about her, and my best friend used to run track, and I said, man, was that fair? Did you think that was right? She's like, you better believe that was right. You do what you got to do to win. And so she dove out. She goes, I ain't mad at her. I would have done it too. And that's what you need. That's what momentum will do for you. It will push you through the rest of this 2016 and say, hey, I know I've done a lot. Or if your story is, I haven't done as much as I wanted to, but I'm going to finish this year strong. That's why you need momentum now.
I love that, Dawn. I love that, folks. Welcome to Momentum Monday. We're talking about the power of momentum and why you need it. Momentum is just not a casual conversation. It is something that is critical for your success. So, Dawn, now we're going to talk about how do you get momentum. And I love the example that you just used. But let's talk about a more simple example. You know how when you used to be a kid, Lynette, and you would swing yourself, you would get on the swing set, you begin to swing yourself, and you would pump those legs back and forth, back and forth. Lynette, talk about that and how that actually is an excellent demonstration of momentum.
Well, see, that requires some effort, Jill. And I remember when I was on that swing, I would ask for somebody to give me a push, right? And they would give me a push, and then I'd turn around and they'd be gone. And it would require me to take some action. And that extra action that I would have to add to the activity would allow me to gain the momentum. So at the end of the day, it requires action on our part in order to propel us higher and higher and higher. When I think about our goals, and when I think about all the things that we want to do in our lives, it's going to require specific action on our part, Jill. Doesn't matter what it requires, we just got to do it, right? If we say we want to achieve our goals. So when we think about what it takes to get to higher ground, it's going to require action.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let me say this. So the first step in gaining momentum is having the proper mindset, and we talked about that last week. And I just want to do a quick review because we have some folks that are brand new on the line. So, Dawn, we said that you have to have the proper mindset in order to have momentum. Why is the mindset so important? But more importantly, we said having a maniacal mindset. Dawn, why is it important to have a maniacal mindset for momentum?
Well, maniacal is a I don't know if it's a root word, but it's related to the word maniac. You got to have this, I am going to go after this thing that God has put on the inside of me with all costs. I am all in. And you need that to propel you forward. It's like that train you're talking about. You got all this mass, right? And I'm not talking about how much you weigh. I'm talking about the weights that get put on us from this life that we live, this world that we're a part of. And so you need to have this mindset that tells you, I don't care what I see. I don't care what's in front of me. I don't care what's scaring me. I mean, when you think about we talk about these stories in the Bible like they're just sweet Bible verses, but when we talk about like Peter walking on the water, that dude had to have a maniacal mindset to think that he could get out of that boat and walk anywhere, take one step, let alone walk. And so we have to have this crazy, I can do all things. You got to believe it in order to begin to even propel yourself forward. And so that's why it can't be regular. People who got momentum and achieve greatness, they ain't regular, man.
Wait a minute. I love that. You can't be regular and you can't be average if you're trying to go after momentum. I mean, I always say this way. If it doesn't look crazy what you're doing, it's not big enough. Danita, what do you think about that? At some point, when you are going for your goals, when you're giving it every single thing that you have, somebody's going to say, girl, you look crazy. Danita, what do you think about that?
I think, it has to be that outside of the normal thinking. And a lot of times people have to understand that places you in a category sometimes by yourself, and you don't have to be lonely when you're alone. I think you just have to trust God's plan for your life, know it, and like Don said, put on a crazy mindset because that's what changes the world. So a lot of us don't understand that we are truly designed to be change agents. And when you're designed to be a change agent, that means leadership, that means maniacal thinking, and that means definitely action-driven. So you don't have time not to pull trigger. You got to be a person that understands I'm here, and you only get a small window sometime in a season. So a lot of times we procrastinate, as Lynette talks about a lot, but you don't have time to procrastinate because sometimes that window closes. And so success happens when you're willing to jump through and be action-driven and really, really take on a right-now thinking and a maniacal mindset. So, yeah, be excited about that if you're in that place. Don't be scared.
Absolutely. I love it, folks. Welcome to Momentum Monday. We are talking about the power of momentum. And how do you get momentum? First of all, you have to have a maniacal mindset. That means you have to be a little crazy. Dawn and Danita just told you there'll be some things that you're required to do for your goals. And people will say, what are you doing? And where are you going? And why are you doing that? But it's about having a maniacal mindset. And lastly, we talked about, your mindset is really about what you feed it. It's feeding it and what you're speaking to yourself and what you're hearing. But the next step in getting momentum is having a builder's blueprint. Now I want to talk about this for a second. Think about a builder. I began to, Dawn, research builders, and I began to look up construction managers. And when a construction manager actually takes on a project, the first thing he asks for, Dawn, is a construction drawing.
Yeah.
Dawn, he wants the blueprint.
Yeah.
Because what I found out is that's the visual roadmap that, tells him what the project is supposed to look like in the end. So I want to pause right there, Dawn, because that thing right there really, really blessed me. Why do you think that, it's important that a construction manager wants the construction drawings or the blueprint when he's trying to build momentum for a project?
Well, my husband's in the construction business, Jill, and so I know exactly why. I mean, he needs to understand the cost, right? So he gets a job, and everybody's like, before he even bids the job, right? It looks good on paper. This is a $300,000 construction job, and my husband's getting ready to bid it. He wants to see those plans. He has to see the blueprint. Because he's got to understand everything that's in it and what's going to be the cost to him, cost to his personnel, cost in terms of materials, everything. And so you have to have the blueprint to understand what it's going to cost you, what it's going to take, what's going to be required of you to do this thing. Everything sounds wonderful. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to do these things. I'm going to speak 10 times next year. What's that going to cost you? And what are you going to need? I mean, that's the other thing. What's it going to cost you? What are you going to need? So you can determine what you already have and where you're lacking so you can fill those gaps. And so it's all kinds of things. It's critical. You can't even get started. He can't bid a job. He can't do a job without the blueprints. He can't get it done.
Ooh, Dawn, you just said something right there. Lynette, I'm coming to you. I'm going to ask you to chime in on this. We're talking about having momentum, folks. Welcome to Momentum Monday. We're talking about the power of having momentum. How do you get it? The first way is to have a maniacal mindset, but the second way is to have a builder's blueprint. And we're talking about a construction manager who gets the job, and I love the fact that Dawn said, well, my husband is in construction. And the first thing they want to know is, where are the construction drawings? Where's the blueprint? Because Dawn said, that tells you what the cost. What it's going to cost you to go up to that goal. Dawn, that thing right there, Lynette, talk to me about that. What it's going to cost you, what it's going to require of you to pursue that goal. You say you want to write a book. You say you want to earn more money. You say you want to save more money. You say you want to lose weight. You say you want to restore a relationship in your family. But what will it cost you? Lynette, talk to me about that. That's a powerful point right there.
Oh, my goodness, Jill. When I'm thinking about a blueprint, right, it really details every aspect of a project, like down to the wire, every single aspect. And when I think about that, it's such a great way to clarify the project or clarify your vision. So just like with the blueprint is getting down to the very last detail, how can we do ourselves, our vision, how can we do a disservice to ourselves by not detailing what we want our end result to look like? When you have that clarity, I mean, it really makes sense to me. If you know exactly where you're headed, you're more likely to arrive at the right place, at the right destination. So that blueprint is so critical. With getting details, you'll know where to go. It's kind of like, having a navigation, right? Anytime when we're on our way trying to achieve a goal, there are going to be things that's going to throw us off course. But that blueprint, that literal vision of what the end result looks like will give us clarity on what to do, what our next steps are, and how to accomplish the goal. We have to have that visual. And it is so critical because it makes an impression on our mind, which triggers our action. So it's the first step. It's the first step. That visual image, absolutely, Jill. We got to have a blueprint.
I love it, love it, love it. Welcome to Momentum Monday. We're here talking about the power of momentum. And the second step in getting momentum is having that builder's blueprint. And it's the visual roadmap, like Dawn and Lynette just shared with you. First of all, it tells you how much it's going to cost you. I love that. What is it going to cost you to run after that goal, right? In time, because time is a valuable resource. How long is it going to take you, right? What kind of financial resources will it require for you to run after your goal? What kind of people resources? Who do you need along the way? And how will you know when you get there if you have not had your visual roadmap identified? Now, I believe, Dawn, this is one of the pieces that really trips a lot of us up when we try to get momentum. See, people mistakenly believe momentum is going outside, running around real fast and getting tired. Dawn, people believe that momentum is a whole bunch of busy work and unproductive activity, and they feel like because they're exhausted, they're creating momentum. But that's really not the case, Dawn. People get started without that blueprint. Why do you think we do that, Dawn?
Well, because we want to give the appearances of moving forward. I mean, I think we all want the same thing. So I think I put it in two buckets. There's some that truly are, you just have no idea, Jill, how to move forward. And so we say yes to everything because it tells us, hey, we're moving, right? And so we haven't had our thinking elevated to know that every good thing is not necessarily the best thing. Right, and so that's just a growth thing. I'm still growing in that area, right? So I want to build my RAIN platform, and someone says, "Hey, Dawn, we want you to come speak here." In the beginning, I'll be like, "Yep, I'm going to do it. Yep, I'm going to do it," and I have to learn and grow. So that's one bucket. The other one is quite frankly, you have to decide which one you're in, is folks just like to have stuff to talk about. I used to be this person. You're like, hey, I ain't really doing nothing, but I can sound real good when people ask me because I'm doing all these things. But I've never stopped to write down or consult myself, consult my maker in terms of what are you supposed to be doing? Why were you created? What is your why? And so for those people in that bucket, you have to go back to the drawing board. It's not a referendum on your life. It just means you got to go back and be like, okay, what's my why? Why am I here? So that I can stop just moving around in circles being busy and get about the business of why I was created, so that I truly am what I call beautifully tired. When I'm beautifully tired, that means I am doing what I was called to do. Yeah, I'm physically maybe exhausted, but man, am I fulfilled. And man, do I know then that the purpose that God created on the inside of me is being moved forward. So it's a very big difference.
I love that you said beautifully tired because, listen, we do know that when you're running after your goals, fatigue and exhaustion may sit in, but be tired because you're beautifully tired, which means you're on track and pursuing the purpose, not because you're just exhausted from being busy. Folks, welcome to Momentum Monday. Today we're talking about the power of momentum and how to get it. Momentum is critical to achieve the success you're looking for in your goals and your dreams. It's the back half of the year. We have to finish strong, and we're talking about how to get momentum. The first step is having a maniacal mindset. You have to go crazy and not quit. But the second step is having that builder's blueprint. For those of you who just joined us, we talked about how a construction manager, before he takes on a project, he asks to see the construction drawings. He wants to see that blueprint. He wants to see what does the end goal look like. Then he looks at the spec sheet Dawn is teaching me, and it tells him what materials he's going to need, right, and how many. It tells him how many people he's going to need, right, what kind of people he's going to need, right, and it tells him about how long the project should take. Well, why wouldn't we take the same approach to our goals? Let's bring it home because we don't have that much time left. A, you have to have a specific construction drawing. What I mean by that, ladies and gentlemen, is I call it my picture of success. So those folks who roll with me know I'm big on drawing pictures. I will draw me and my kids and my husband. We draw out, stick figures and all, what success looks like by the end of the year. For my daughter, she put an A+ because she wants to get more A's this year. That's one of her pictures of success. You know, my son had another picture. He's into video games and wants to design the game. You know, me and my husband, we drew some dollar signs. We have some financial goals that we are pursuing. What does success look like? What is your blueprint? Then you have to identify all the things you need to reach that goal. Now, I want to end today by talking about targeted activity. And Danita and Lynette, I'm going to ask you to help me with this conversation. Targeted activity. Because action by itself does not mean you're creating momentum, and it does not mean you're on the track toward your goal. It could just mean that you're busy. So, Lynette, I'm going to come to you, and Danita, I would like for you to give me some examples of targeted activity that you've taken to support, you know, your particular goals when it comes to Girls Rock. But, Lynette, what do you think targeted activity is? Define that for the callers today.
Well, targeted activity is specific things, specific actions that you're going to take to reach a specific goal, right? So like with me, when I was writing my book, I had to have targeted activity to meet my deadlines. There was days and chunks of my day that I had to carve out specifically to meet my deadline. So when we talk about targeted activity, it is a crystal clear, laser focused idea of the activity that you have to take, the action that you have to take in order to hit that bullseye. And I just wanted to also go back to that busyness. Boy, oh boy, Jill, I used to be so busy on the wrong things, just busy being busy. And when you're busy being busy or working on somebody else's goal, you don't see your targeted activity, honestly, is helping someone else achieve someone else's goal if you're not focused on your own. So that piece right there, oh my goodness, I just thought it just made me reflect on that busy word. It kind of gives me, it makes me itch, you know, because I don't like the word busy. Because really, when you're focused on targeted activity, you're busy doing the things that's going to get you straight directly to that bullseye.
Absolutely.
And so,
Absolutely, Lynette. You're so right about that. And Danita, I'm coming to you. But if we go back to our example of the builder who approaches this house he's supposed to build or this complex he's supposed to build, right? Let's say he's actually on site. He has a construction drawing of what he's supposed to do, and he gets there. And the construction drawings require him to hammer nails in certain places, or it requires him to build walls that particular day. But he's in there sweeping. Now, we would all agree that sweeping at some point is probably good. And we could all agree that sweeping makes him look really busy. But guess what? The construction drawing requires him to build a wall that day. The construction drawing requires him to put a nail in a board that day, but he's sweeping. Your construction drawing, your goal, your blueprint is so important, and it has to be written down. Otherwise, you're just busy being busy. Now, Danita, I'm calling on you right now because I know that you've had a host of events and activities and things that you've done in regards to your Girls Rock program. Can you give us some examples of targeted, specific activity that you had to execute on to get to one of your goals in regards to your program?
Sure. One of the things I've learned about that targeted activity is that I had to plan my calendars early. With speakers and presenters, because you got to accommodate everybody's schedule. And that's a part of that blueprint, knowing what builders, because I just built a home, and it's funny, contractors aren't always working for the same company. So it's critical with a blueprint that you have a leader that's a building manager that's on site who takes care of that, that makes sure that all calendars are planned. So the sweeping could have been a problem because the leader, didn't have the plan clear to him. So he came in with a plan to sweep, but ultimately the job was another contractor was supposed to be in there putting the nails together, Jill. I also make sure that I have a planned budget. Too many of us go out here haphazardly financially with plans, and we don't understand that budget is critical. So I plan past my fears. Brazil happened because I didn't always have the money in the bank, and in which it was, to pay for it. But what happened was I trusted past my fears. Doesn't mean I didn't have a plan. It just didn't mean that I had it in the bank at that moment. But I planned past my fears. I believed. I was maniacal. I love that about Brazil. And so the other thing is that I want to tell people, don't let people pimp your purpose. Too many times we get busy because, like Dawn said, we'll get on other people's bandwagon that will celebrate us. I don't need cheerleaders and fans with a blueprint. If you got a clear blueprint, you will be able to push that plan by yourself. You do not have to fall for having to get on everybody's agenda in order for your God-given plan to be birthed. So understand that when you know who you are, when you have a blueprint that's clear, complete, and concise, you will jump, as Steve Harvey said, by yourself. And
That's
you will
right.
understand, that this is his plan for me. This is and your plan also usually is attached to other people. And so don't let your purpose be pimped.
Wait, Danita, I got to stop you because you just said some amazing things, and I want to break this down. Folks, welcome to Momentum Monday. We are getting toward the end of our call. We're talking about the power of momentum, and this applies to anything that you're doing. If you have a movement that you're leading, if you have an organization of men, women, girls, or boys, if you have an individual goal, momentum is critical for whatever you are going for. Trust and believe, and we've given 7 examples today. But I love what you said. You said plan past your fears. Now, that's a call all by itself. I love that. You plan past your fears. So even after you created your blueprint, even after you had your construction drawing and you saw what success looked like, sometimes you're going to be afraid. Sometimes there'll be fear involved, especially if your goals are big enough. You may question some things, but you plan past the fear anyway. And I love what you said about, don't let anyone pimp your purpose. See, when you have your own blueprint in mind, others can't come along and sway you. Don't pimp your purpose. Now, that's a hashtag. Don't allow someone to pimp your purpose. What that means is don't allow someone to come in and reconstruct your purpose or impact your vision, or what God has given you. And that can't happen if you have your blueprint. What's a blueprint? Let's bring it home. It is your written goals. The specific written goals that you have for your movement, your project, your plan, your organization, your business, your career, your family, whatever that is, you should have a blueprint. It tells you what it should look like in the end, and it gives you the action that you need to take along the way. And we're talking about targeted activity. There are certain things that you have to do in order to move that ball down the field. Dawn, I'm going to come to you also and ask you to give me 1 or 2 targeted action steps, because I'm getting some messages this morning from some folks, and I want to make sure that we really, people hear us on what targeted activity is, because people don't get confused by all the stuff you see on Facebook. You see people doing a lot of different stuff, but you don't know what their finish line looks like. So you don't know if that's productive activity or not. It's not for you to judge. You need to know what's at the end of your finish line. Dawn, as we begin to wrap up, I'm going to ask all my co-hosts to give us some closing comments. But Dawn, can you give us some examples just real quick of some targeted activity that you've participated in when it comes to pursuing your goals or your projects?
I mean, for me, I do a lot of planning. This RAIN platform, a lot of it, is built on me hosting or holding RAIN classes. And so I have to study a lot. And so I read a good deal. I go on. I got this from, it's funny, I got it from John Maxwell, which is one of my, he don't know it. He a mentor of mine. He doesn't know it yet. But he said he gathers quotes and things of that nature all the time for his books and for his talks and that sort of thing. So I do that a lot, Joe. I've got just gobs and gobs written as well as in my phone of things that I think, okay, I'm going to use this later in a RAIN class. Okay, I'm going to use this for here. And so I spend time making sure I'm doing that. I also spend a lot of time, and we could talk, this is a whole other call by itself too, but I spend a lot of time trying to get in God's face. To understand, what do you want me to do with this? We were just talking about this the other day, it's a time for me now. We're at the back half of the year. I need to get back in front of my head coach and figure out, what do you want me to do with this now? I've had some great momentum, carrying me through 2016 with my RAIN platform. What's next? Where do I go from here? A lot has changed. My life has changed, my career, all kinds of things. What's next? And so really spending targeted time, it's not, people don't see it, that's fine. Yeah. But if I don't do that, this RAIN platform, quite frankly, I don't even exist. And so I spend a lot of time and trying to train myself to make that the most important thing I do every day, and in particular with regard to this platform, because how dare I think I can stand in front of anybody and teach them something that didn't come from me, right? And so I spend time there, like I said, with my head coach, trying to understand what the next play is, Jill. That's just a couple of things.
That is so, so powerful, Dawn. I appreciate you saying that. Folks, we're here Momentum Monday. We're at the 8 o'clock hour. Actually, it's 8:02. We're flat out of time. We're talking about the power of momentum. Dawn, thank you so much for that. Lynette and Danita, one more thing you want to share before we close out on this amazing topic, and I'll share some last words. Danita?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought Lynette was going. For me, I was thinking about the builder piece, Jill, and one of the things that I've realized is that blueprints are expensive. I just built a home. They don't do blueprints for free. They cost. And so a lot of times we need to understand that because our blueprint has extreme value and it's expensive, you just don't haphazardly share that with everybody. Mm-hmm. Sometimes your blueprint is your investment. It's your vessel for what God has for you. And so I want to tell everybody that with your blueprint, because it is expensive, because it did cost you, treat it as value. Yeah. Some of us treat our Coach purses and our Louis Vuittons better than our blueprint and our goals and our plan. But the blueprint and the goal and the plan is what's going to propel not only you, but everyone that you're attached to for their life. And so we got to act like it's the ER situation, and that is the very air that we need to propel and breathe and get to this next level. So for me, in closing, treat your blueprint with value, because it is expensive and it comes with a cost for not just you but others.
Danita, you just said something right there, girl. That was amazing. For those of you who might have missed it, Denise gave me some closing comments, and she said that blueprints aren't free. Blueprints cost you something. Treat the blueprint as valuable and protect it. It's not to be even shared with everyone, because everyone won't understand. And sometimes when you don't understand something, you will question it. Danita, thank you for that nugget. Blueprints are not free. So be careful who you share that with. So awesome. Folks, we're here Momentum Monday, and we're actually wrapping up right now. Lynette, what are some of your closing comments this morning?
Well, my closing comment, Jill, is just, for us to really understand the blueprint. The Creator, he deposited a purpose inside of us. We are not here by accident, and the blueprint for our lives is inside of us, right? And it'll stay there unless we take it out and start creating and manifesting those things that, and pushing towards our dreams and goals. So I just want to encourage all the listeners today, and I'm speaking to myself as well. I talk about killing procrastination, and we have 3 months left. I have things still on my blueprint, things still left on my goal list that I am running hard after, and we have to have that targeted activity. We can't take one day for granted, Jill, not one day for granted. We have to be purposeful in everything we do and use our blueprint, use those things that we know we need to be doing, and get busy. Busy, Jill, being productive towards our goal, not busy just for the sake of being busy.
Absolutely, folks. You're here on Momentum Monday. We're actually wrapping up our call, and today we're talking about the power of momentum. It is critical as we go to the back half of the year, and there are the 3 steps on how to gain momentum. The first one is having a maniacal mindset. The second step, which is what we're talking about today, is having that builder's blueprint. Every construction manager, before he takes a job, asks to see those construction drawings. They want to see what this project is supposed to look like in the end. Then they check the spec sheet, and they say, well, what are the materials that I need? What are the actions I need to take? And what's the timeline for this project? And what is it going to cost me to pursue this project or this goal, right? And I love what we shared today. And so we just heard from Dawn, we've heard from Danita, we've heard from Lynette. And I'll say this, folks. Targeted activity is exactly what you should be focused on this point in the back half of the year as you're considering your momentum. Don't get busy being busy, but get busy being productive, following that blueprint. I want to thank all of you guys who joined us on Facebook Live today. For some particular reason, our Facebook Live has been going in and out all day, so I want to apologize for our technical difficulties. If you'd like to join us on our Facebook page, please go to the Momentum Monday discussion group. You can go there and join us and have live discussion with us, hashtag anything that you love to hear, and you can always also join us on our live number that you can dial in on that we have posted on our page. It's been amazing this morning. Make sure you join us next Monday morning right here at the same time, where your Mondays will never be the same. Lynette, you want to open up the lines and give us a call out this morning?
Absolutely. I'm going to open up the lines. I want to hear everybody say loud and proud, I have the builder's blueprint.